Title: You're not lazy, you're emotionally exhausted. From hiding. Visual: empty room with sunlight. There's a specific kind of tired you feel. It's not from lifting anything heavy. It's not from a long day of physical work. You've done almost nothing today and still your body feels like it's been carrying something since morning. You call it laziness. But what if that word has been wrong the whole time? Problem deep dive. Visual: person sitting still, staring at a wall. Think about a normal day around other people. You choose your words before you say them. You soften your tone so no one feels uncomfortable. You laugh slightly louder than you feel so the room stays easy. You notice a shift in someone's face and quietly adjust yourself to fix it, even if they never said a word. None of this looks like work. There's no task list for it. No one claps for it. But your mind has been running a background process all day, reading people, predicting reactions, managing how you're perceived. And by the time you're finally alone, you don't feel relieved. You feel drained in a way that sleep doesn't seem to fully repair. Visual notebook with one sentence written: I don't even know what I actually think anymore. Over time, this becomes the quiet cost. You stop trusting your own energy levels because they never make sense to you. You wonder why simple things, replying to a text, making a decision, starting a task, suddenly feel heavy. You start calling yourself unmotivated, undisciplined, lazy. But the truth is simpler and heavier. You haven't been resting from work. You've been resting from being watched, even when no one is watching. Reframe. Visual, slow-moving light patterns. Here's what needs to be said clearly. This isn't a character flaw. It's not weakness, and it's not a lack of willpower. What you're experiencing is something psychologists refer to as self-monitoring, a very real cognitive process where part of your attention is constantly split between living your life and managing how your life appears. At some point, likely early in life, you learned that being fully yourself wasn't always safe. Maybe honesty led to conflict, maybe emotion led to punishment or embarrassment or being seen as too much. So your mind did what it's built to do. It adapted. It created a second, quieter task running underneath everything else. Stay acceptable. That adaptation kept you safe once. The problem is, it never learned when to turn off. Psychological mechanism. Visual, abstract brain animation, two overlapping light pathways. Here's the mechanism behind it. Your brain has limited cognitive resources. Every hour of the day, you're spending mental energy on two channels at once, whether you realize it or not. Channel 1, your actual thoughts, needs, and reactions. Channel 2, the constant editing of those thoughts, needs, and reactions before they reach the outside world. Think of it like running two apps on a phone at the same time. One app is quiet, your genuine internal state. The other is loud, a translator app, working non-stop to convert your real self into a version that feels acceptable to whoever is around you. Visual, phone battery animation draining rapidly. The translator app never fully closes, even in low-stakes moments. A coffee run, a group chat, a family dinner, it's active, scanning for subtle shifts in tone, body language, mood. This is called hypervigilance to social feedback, and it's exhausting specifically because it's constant, not because it's intense. It's not one hard moment, it's 1,000 small ones, stacked all day, every day. By evening, your battery isn't just low, it's been leaking all along. That's why rest doesn't fix it the way you'd expect. You're not low on energy, you're low on safety. The sense that you can exist without managing how you're received. So then, if hiding is the drain, what actually recharges you? Practical framework. Visual, waves, moving slowly. Here are 5 shifts, each one grounded in how the mind actually works. Not vague advice, but specific psychological leverage points. 1. Name the performance, don't just feel it. What to do? At the end of a draining day, ask yourself plainly, where was I performing today and where was I real? Why it works. Naming a mental process moves it from your automatic, exhausting background system into your conscious awareness where you finally have some control over it. This is sometimes called affect labeling. Simply identifying what's happening lowers the emotional charge behind it. Real life example. After a family gathering, instead of just collapsing on the couch, notice, I spent most of that keeping the peace, not talking. That single sentence starts loosening the pattern's grip. 2. Practice one honest moment a day on purpose. What to do? Choose one low-risk moment daily to say what you actually think or feel instead of the adjusted version. Why it works? Your nervous system learns safety through repeated evidence, not through logic. Each honest moment that doesn't end in disaster quietly retrains your brain's threat prediction system. Real-life example, telling a friend, actually, I'd rather stay in tonight instead of performing enthusiasm you don't feel. Visual, person walking alone at night. 3. Build no audience time into your day. What to do? Spend at least 15 minutes a day with zero social performance. No phone, no responding, no eye contact to manage. Why it works? This gives your translator app a chance to fully shut down, even briefly, which lowers baseline cognitive load and allows the nervous system to shift out of alert mode. Real life example, sitting in your car in silence for 10 minutes before going inside after work, instead of walking straight from one performance into the next. 4. Separate the reaction from the person. What to do? When you sense someone's mood shift, pause before adjusting yourself and ask, is this actually about me? Why it works? This interrupts a pattern called personalization bias, where the mind automatically assumes responsibility for other people's emotional states. Most of the time, their mood has very little to do with you. Real life example, a friend seems distant during lunch. Instead of instantly assuming you did something wrong and overcorrecting, you simply notice the thought and let it pass, without acting on it. 5. Let one relationship be a full exhale. What to do? Choose one person where you allow yourself to be unfiltered, even slightly. Why it works? Psychological safety in even a single relationship has measurable effects on stress recovery, giving your nervous system a template for what it feels like to exist without editing yourself. Real life example, telling one close friend you're having a hard day instead of saying I'm fine, out of habit. Integration, visual. 2 overlapping circles slowly merging into one. Here is the model to hold on to. Picture 2 versions of you. One is the quiet, real self underneath. The other is the polished, adjusted self you present. For most of your life, those 2 versions have been running as separate programs, and the space between them is where your energy has been quietly leaking out. Healing this isn't about becoming someone louder or more confident or more authentic overnight. It's about slowly closing the gap between those 2 versions, one honest moment at a time, until there's less translating left to do. Less performance means less drain. Less drain means less of what you've been calling laziness. Quiet, empowering, close, visual, empty room with sunlight slightly brighter than before. You were never lazy. You were tired from holding a version of yourself steady for people who may not have even noticed the effort it took. That kind of tired doesn't show up on the outside, but it's real and it deserves rest, not judgment. The next time you feel that heaviness after a day where nothing happened, remember what actually happened. You were there all day, managing, softening, translating. Just existing took more than anyone could see. So tonight, whatever this looks like for you, maybe it's just sitting somewhere quiet without adjusting your face for anyone.